All right, so for the last couple of days, the main focus that a lot of people have been having is leveling up their mastery to max level. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you, man, even with having the disable feature, it still is a really tedious task unless you go ahead and be like myself and a lot of the people over in my Discord server and figure out ways to be able to AFK the entire process. Huge shout out to one of my subscribers over in my Discord by the name of The Legend. He's been extremely helpful because he's been more or less sharing a couple of tips here and there on what he's doing in order to be able to make the process super easy. But anyways, in today's video, we're going to show you guys how to go ahead and make this entire cooking mastery 100% AFKable. Now for this, unfortunately, you are going to need a couple of things, and by far the most important one is to have the disable cooks and waiters working. I know it's kind of unfortunate because a good chunk of players right now sadly have the feature broken right now, which I did read your comments in my last video. Unfortunately, we don't really have an ETA on when that's going to be fixed. Haven't really gotten too much information from the devs aside from the fact that they're trying to replicate it and they unfortunately cannot. I'm going to be honest, I've tried replicating it as well, not only on my account, but also on my alt account, and I still can't get it to work, which is kind of weird because I feel like if it's happening to so many people, it should be super easy to break the system. Either way, the only other thing that you're going to need is some type of a button presser or macro, whatever it is that you want to do. You will need this. So if you have Tiny Task, that's great. If you don't have it, then pretty simple to get it off of Google. I actually can't show you guys where to get it because unfortunately, I don't have Tiny Task. What you're seeing in the background right now is my program for specifically my mouse. So my Logitech mouse has this feature where I can basically go ahead and create macros, which is kind of what I have all here on the side. Now let's go ahead and give you a quick breakdown on how this entire thing is going to work. If we take a look here, every single one of my other floors are completely empty. The only one that I have stuff in is floor number 1. Now, to a certain extent, this is not really a big deal. I could have really filled up every single floor, and even on the other hand, I could have really just made the entire first floor seating and moved the kitchen to the second floor. So really, this doesn't matter. You can have as many seats as you want, and you can have the kitchen wherever your heart desires. The only thing that's important is how you have the kitchen set up. Now, I do want to be clear, since I know a lot of you are going to go straight to the comments and ask me, this is no specific layout. As a matter of fact, I do not recommend that you copy this in any type of way. There's a lot of empty spaces. I just went ahead and placed down random things because the only thing I cared about was the kitchen that was in the middle. Now, I'll be honest, this is kind of an overkill because I don't really need this many dishwashers. I just put them down so that way I had something surrounding me. And so I was able to do what I have over here for the order stand. So basically, if I go ahead and stand here in the middle, I have one stove in front of me, one to the left of me, and one behind me. Then to the right side, I have a dishwasher, where on the opposite end, I have the order stand. It's important to not have the order stand really close to you because if not, you will not be able to automatically place down the stuff onto your stove. Coming back to my macro kind of system that I have going on here, you'll notice that the side button on my mouse is set to E. Going in and taking a look at this, you'll notice that I have it set to 325 milliseconds, and the macro is extremely simple. Press down on E, release E, press down on E, release E, press down and release. That is all I did. So what this allows me to do is basically press the button on the side of my mouse and it automatically starts grabbing stuff from the order stands and placing them into the stoves. Now, a lot of you are going to be like, well, that's pretty straightforward. I mean, it doesn't really seem that difficult. And really, it isn't. But the catch is that for everybody, it's going to be a little bit different as far as the milliseconds for how often you need to click it. Some people in my Discord server, like The Legend, he goes ahead and uses 250 milliseconds for clicks, and that works perfectly fine for him. 325 is kind of where I found that was good for me. And the reason for this is because eventually, if you put it too fast, you will pick up a plate from the order stand, which means that the entire system will completely stop. So if this is happening to you, it's really simple. Just keep upping the milliseconds until you find that sweet spot. The highest I've seen so far, which is actually one of the Legend's friends, is 500 milliseconds, and that works for that individual. Now again, if I open up manage here and we take a look, I'm going to turn this back on. you'll notice it is going up to 40. I'm literally doing absolutely nothing. It's just doing it all automatically by itself. And I can literally just AFK this all night long. But there is one thing that you guys need to make sure that you're doing, because if not, you will ruin this entire thing. Once you turn on the auto press macro, make sure that you also have an auto clicker turned on and you place it right here with it just clicking. This is important because when you level up, you will not earn any more. So unfortunately, let's say that you go ahead and hit 500 and you forgot to turn on your auto clicker, but then you come on the next morning and you're like, maybe it's not a big deal. Maybe they rolled over. Well, they're not. It just stops at 500 until you hit that level up button. And anything that you did past that 500 is kind of just wasted. Now, some of you are going to be like, well, you're only level 4. How do we know that this is effective? Well, I mean, for starters, I probably would have been level 10 already if it wasn't for the fact that Roblox decided to crash last night because I left my game AFKing. And more specifically, just about, I want to say like an hour ago, I was technically level 1 cooking because I have not done anything for any of them. So yes, it's really unfortunate that last night Roblox decided to crash. And from what I've heard, it was completely offline for everybody in the entire world. So that's kind of crazy, but it's all good because by the time that I do the follow-up video after this, which will likely be how to AFK the entire cleaning mastery, I will have already had cooking mastery at level 10. So that way I don't have to be made fun of about this entire thing. Because yes, I know that some of you are already either level 10 or some of you are at least level 7. But either way, that is currently the AFK method to be able to do your cooking mastery. I'm going to get back to letting this run so that your boy can finally hit level 10. And again, I will make a follow-up video for the cleaning mastery hopefully tomorrow. I wanted to go ahead and kind of split every single one of these into individual videos for the sake of long term. And so that way you guys don't have to like fast forward through the entire video to figure out how to do this. Just make one specifically for every mastery. Now, I will give you guys a warning. Service mastery will probably not be AFKable, but there is a very, very good way for you to go ahead and get this done the absolute fastest. So make sure that you guys stick around for that video. Drop a like on this if it helps you out. Subscribe to the channel so you do not miss any of my restaurant videos. That's going to go out in there for this one. Like always, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.